Hello guys, this is Orange Doctor here. Hope everyone are doing good and utilizing the quarantine days to maximum. Hope everyone watched my video of the engine oil part 1 and enjoyed it and also gained their knowledge. If not, there is a link in the description below. It's not late anytime, so you can watch the part 1 first and then come to the part 2. So today, before we kickstart the part 2, I would like to give a short glance about what we spoke in part 1. In part 1, we covered the topics like what is an engine oil, why do we need it, and also the types of engine oil and how to visualize the grading of an engine oil and how important is it when it comes to your bike. So this is all we covered in the part 1. Now I would be going in depth about the part 2. So before we get it started, I would like to give a small example about how do you authorize or how do you make sure that it is a recognized engine oil. So for example, I would give it for a helmet. Helmet, you know that there is DOT, ISI, ECE and also Snell approved. Likewise, we have a lot of organizations which standardize the engine oils. I would give you one small example of it. As we see APISN here, so this is American Petroleum Institute, which not only recognizes the engine oils and approves it, it also gives the classification to it about which engine oil goes best to the bike you own. This is also recommended by the OEMs, and also it is very much necessary for us to choose a better engine oil and make sure that it is upgraded now and then. For example, this is the same engine oil we both have in the left hand as well as the right hand. If you can notice, there is APISN out here and APISN plus out here. So this is the same engine oil but with different gradings. What is the S, by the way? S is nothing but the spark ignition, which also known as the petrol engines. And when it comes to compression engines, there is a C out here, which is nothing but the diesel engines. So S stands for petrol engines and C stands for diesel engines. So never take a C graded engine oil and use it for your petrol bikes. There is always recommended by the API standards that you use a S graded oil. And what is that N next to it? N is nothing but the grading which modifies each and every time when there is a change in engine and also when there is advancement in technology. And also that they are continuously changing the emission norms to save our mother earth. That is the reason why SN to SN plus after the BS6 came into the picture. Likewise, we also have many other institutes which also certifies the engine oils, likewise JASO, MA2 and AECS from the Europe standards, and also FIM or FIA, which is Federation of International Automotives. So now let's talk about JASO. What exactly JASO means? Japanese Automotive Standard Organization, and you would have always seen that there is MA, MB or MA2 next to JASO. What does it mean? MB simply means that there is a separate engine oil used for engine, clutch and gear. So whereas MA and MA2 use one particular oil which suits for all the three purposes, that is the engine, clutch and gear. So you would have seen that there is MA2 in the engine oils place these days. But whereas in the older engine oils you would have seen MA for the 4-stroke, but whereas for the 2-stroke it is MB because they use a separate gear oil and a separate engine oil. MA2 is nothing but they have modified the engine oil with better additives for the catalytic converter which is installed from BS4. So that is the difference between MA, M2 and MB. So let's move on to AECS, which is the European standards, and FIA and FIM for the Federation of International Automotives. AECS is nothing but the European standards just like API from American, and Federation of International Automotives is nothing but for the race purpose. So we have an instance that 300 V square from Module, which recently launched, has no certifications from API, AECS nor even JASO, but it simply says FIA approved. That means it is the standard above everything else. So this is all about the certifications of API, JASO, AECS, FIM and FIA. So I would say that to maintain your engine oil well and also to get the best performance out of it, you have to simply follow the owner's manual for the best optimum performance of your bike, or else just upgrade it with 5 or 10 viscosity rating from the engine oil owner's manual recommended. But when you over upgrade it to like 10 to 20 viscosity, it might hamper your engine because The OEM recommendations are given according to the clearances of that particular engine. Overpowering the engine oil or even degrading the engine oil will have an optimum decrease in performance. Guys, mind that. So please never think about overpowering with an engine oil or even degrading with an engine oil. I have 5 things to tell about engine oils so that you can get the best performance, fuel economy, and also the maximum power output from your engines. The first thing would be always change the engine oils regularly. That means simply that for air-cooled engines it's from 2000 to 2500 kilometers. For liquid-cooled engines it's somewhere around 4000 to 5000 kilometers. Second thing, when you're choosing an engine oil, always pick a engine oil which is not more than 5 years old. That is, the shelf life of the engine oil is just 5 years. So beyond that, the composition of the engine oil would change. So always pick an engine oil on a safer side that is not more older than 4 years. Third thing is always buy a branded engine oil so that you don't get fooled away. Branded in the sense API standard, AECS standard from the Europeans, JASO from the Japanese, or from the Federation of International Automotives. So anything of these would really be a good deal. And for the fourth thing I would want to talk is the grades and purposes about it. What are these grades and purposes? You have different grades for engine oils for racetracks, touring, and also for city commutes. For racetrack, you generally used to have a synthetic oil because you always have a hard clutch shifting, gear shifting, and there's a lot of heat generation because you're using your bike to the maximum limit on the racetracks. And when it comes to touring, you're always using it for a long time, for a longer distance where a lot of heat is generated, and also you wouldn't have enough time to change your engine oil now and then. So I would suggest a synthetic engine oil for racetracks as well as for touring purpose because it would give you the optimum purposes on long distance touring as well as the maximum utilization of the bikes in racetracks. When it comes to streets or commute purpose, you're not using your bike continuously. So even a good engine oil which is synthetic or even a semi-synthetic which is recommended by the owner's manual would do a good job. And I would not suggest you to spend a lot when you're commuting in a city like Bangalore where a lot of heat builds up and you're not traveling more than 50 to 60 kilometers daily. So this is all I would like to talk about today in the part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and namaste. Don't get carried away by westernization. Let's stay Indian. Signing off, Orange Doctor. Thank you. Kudos. Bye.